Starry-eyed rumblings.
We walk on for a little while, a long while in fact, purposely because after talking about health and well-being, it is kind of awkward to now discuss me potentially handing Yell back over to Swordfish. I'm gonna lie, even to me, after saying I've got your back, to then possibly proffer her back up to Swordfish doesn't quite line up. And if I'm honest, it doesn't sit right with me, and I have no intention of doing that, so probably I should say something along those lines to Yell and discuss what she feels would be a good move. Yell, as you all know, there is my investigation to consider here as we go forward. I'm simply trying to do the right thing, and it is proving a lot more complicated than I thought it would be to do such. Or maybe I just don't know what the right thing is to do, which is troubling. Yell does not ease my concerns by replying, well, that is the trick, isn't it? Knowing what is right in any given circumstance. Ooh, that's deep. Alas, for a change, I don't have time to contemplate philosophy right now. Instead, I ask, Yell, may I ask you a question? She nods. So I continue. Do you believe that you will be safe with Swordfish? She answers quickly without hesitation. No. I imagine once I go back to Swordfish, you won't hear from me for a very long time. Whoa, you mean that she'll kill you? Whoa. No, not quite. Let's just say she knows how to keep me docile. We walk in silence through Residential Colony 1. We make our way up a spiral staircase that winds around a large tree. It goes up and up and up. I chose this tree on purpose because it looked like the tallest one, and I believe it potentially is a viewing point of Residential Colony 1. And as we make it to the top, it is indeed a quite serene visage. Looking across left and right, front and back, we can see the treetops. And between the leaves, the lights of varying colors that are used to light up the shops and walkways and housing of Residential Colony 1 shine through. Off in the distance there seems to be some sort of market district. It is of course empty, given that Humus Estate has no one in it at present, but it looks very pretty with all its lights of blues and yellows, reds, purples, greens. It is utterly silent as we make our way back down and across one of the treetop walkways, peering into various shops that are all empty, of course, looking at various plants. And yes, I believe that they are artificial, synthetic, or at least semi-synthetic, definitely not real, which is probably why there isn't a gardener lurking about. Eventually, we make our way back to the elevator, past the kiosk, and I don't ask again to have it analyze Yell. However, the walk through Residential Colony 1 was very calming, I must say. Not talking. I can hear Yell walking beside me quietly. Seems I'm getting very accustomed to walking around with a murderer. Don't really feel any fear of getting impaled by Yell whatsoever. By the time we made it out of Residential Colony 1, I have the beginnings of a plan of what I am going to do. Lacking any other options, I decide to run my plan by Yell. So Yell, this is my plan. I do not believe that it is the right thing to do to give you over to Swordfish, given that I do not know much about her and she is a suspect or an accomplice in the assassination attempt against Ike. Also, she probably is involved in other machinations that involve Nak Heng and Yuma's estate, which at present, with my current knowledge, strike me as very dubious. And you can rest assured that I take your safety and well-being very seriously, so I will not be handing you over to Swordfish until I can be assured that that is the safest place for you to be, which I don't think it is. Yell doesn't respond, but she does seem to be listening. At least she's looking at me. So I continue. As far as Swordfish goes, I've heard your side of the story, but I think it is only right to try and acquire as much information from all sides as possible before progressing any further. So I will give Swordfish a chance to share her thoughts and feelings about what is going on and her actions and everything else. So my suggested plan of action is this. We head to Park Goulet and have the discussion with Swordfish and see what information she provides. Once we have said information, then we shall analyze the information and then decide what seems the most productive way forward. Now, this plan does involve you to a certain extent, so I'm open to suggestions or alterations to this plan, if you have any. I open the floor to suggestions or improvements to the plan. Yell gives none, so I assume she thinks it's a wonderful plan and we'll go ahead with it. First things first, Yell, I believe that it is probably a good thing, a smart move to surveil Park Goulet before we go stumbling in there. With that in mind, I suggest I stop myself. I was about to say, not gloat per se, but I was gonna flash my fancy new access card, which would give me access to the surveillance room, I hope. But I do not want to reveal that information, that I hold such power and access at present. So, I say instead, follow me, Yell. I find it really difficult to give orders, so I can't help but add, if you've got no other place that you wish to be right now or want to do anything first. She responds, lead on. Excelente. And I do lead the way. Unfortunately, I have absolutely no idea where surveillance is.